My name's Ben, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about being an operations manager in a hotel. A typical week for me as operations manager, it can really vary. It's such an interesting industry and such an interesting environment working in hotels. I could be working weekends, I could not be, I could be working evenings, helping out night shift even. It's a 24-hour business, so it can certainly keep you very busy. And running operations as well gives you an awful lot to look after as well. You are trying to manage your housekeeping team, the reception team, bars, restaurants, conference and banqueting people. You've got a lot of people to look after, and you're dealing with a lot of different people and a lot of different things in the day-to-day.
Are there sort of certain things that you can predict will be problematic or challenging within each of those areas?
Yes. For housekeeping, it's usually making sure they're getting the job done right in the first place. No one likes to come into a hotel with a dirty room, and the classic one for us is finding hair in the bathroom. It's a really difficult thing to eradicate. We tend to be fairly fuzzy human beings, but it's making sure that they're getting the job done right. And standards are very, very important within the role. Depending on what sort of star rating you're looking at, I've worked everything from 3-star to 5-star, and your standards increase with each level that you move, but the basics are still the same. And so making sure that your housekeeping team is working to that standard is key and important. And that sometimes takes a little bit of carrot as well as a little bit of stick to actually make sure that you're getting the right results out of your people. It's a service industry, and making sure that you're getting the right service and getting the right results out of your people is probably the most important thing that you can do with the role.
What are some of the more challenging situations that you found yourself having to deal with?
You tend to find that you're using a lot of people that are part-time. It's not the key focus to their job. So the passion for the role, which I have, and I expect other managers and other people that are really keen in the industry do have. You don't necessarily find that. So making sure that those people stay focused, stay motivated, and come in to do the job and want to do the job, that can be very difficult at times. You often find people will think, well, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, drank a little bit too much last night, tell you what, I can't be bothered turning up for my 6 a.m. breakfast shift. And so finding a way to deal with that and deal with it effectively is one of the main challenges you can face. It's no good just turning around and trying to fire people every time they let you down like that, because it's simply a fact of what happens. You need to find ways to work around it. And so it can be anything from having incentive schemes in place where if they fail to turn up, they get nothing. And that actually is something that's worked very well for me in the past. And peer pressure works as well, because ultimately it's not myself as their operations manager who suffers if they don't turn up to a shift. I might have to deal with the complaint if service has suffered as a result, but really the people who have had to deal with the problem and suffer the greatest of the consequences are their fellow team members. And so using them to create a positive pressure on one another to be there for each other and work as a team and work for each other, that can have really great results for you.
All right. What sort of people would you look to recruit if you were building a team?
I have had the very interesting and actually enjoyable experience of having opened a hotel from scratch. And the key thing I looked for, particularly when I was looking at my base team members, the people who are going to be my waiters, my banqueting people, my bartenders, it was attitude. Attitude is everything. It's, as I say, it's a people industry. Being able to interact with people, having a positive approach to the way you do your job. If you can sit in an interview and show you've got personality, that you're willing to engage in the conversation, you have the ability to interact with other people, that's the key thing that you can put across to a recruiter. Skills can be trained. The basic skills within the industry are very simple. Yes, to get them right, that takes practice. But anyone can be trained. Anyone can be trained to do the job well, and good training goes a long way. Having the right attitude, that's everything in the end, because